For today's lab, we have a wind turbine experiment. We have done this 2 weeks ago, something that is very similar to this. Back then, we had a power source which is a solar cell. So today, we have a wind turbine generator or wind generator instead of a solar cell. We have a ammeter attached here, voltmeter attached here. We have a load. Now the load is our decade resistance box. We can change the resistance in 1 ohm intervals. And what we are going to do is we are going to change the resistance and we are going to measure the current. And the change in resistance is because we want to get particular sets of currents for this experiment. So we will find a maximum power output by this wind generator. Now we are going to start with the short circuit current. So in other words, we are going to short circuit this circuit. So how do we do this? We are going to set the resistance box to 0 resistance. So now we can measure the short circuit current. And that would be your first current right here. Now, once we have that, we are going to calculate the corresponding voltage from the voltmeter. So that's your first data point right there. And then from this formula, by multiplying current by the voltage, you can get the power, and that's where your power is going to go. Make sure that when you do measurements of current that is given by the ammeter is going to be in milliamperes, and you have to account for that and then convert that into amperes. Let's stick with amperes, volts and watts. I don't want to have millivolts, milliamperes because it's kind of confusing at this level, so just let's stick with this. Another thing that I want to make sure is that when you measure the voltage for the short circuit, the voltage is going to be very, very small, minuscule. So you will read a millivolt voltage in your voltmeter. So just be careful about that. And then the rest of the volts will be decimals. So in other words, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, something like that. But for the current, it's always going to be milliamperes. Convert it to amperes by dividing this number by 1000. When you read it on the ammeter, milliamperes to amperes. Right? So now, how do we proceed? So the first data point is the short circuit current, and to proceed we are going to drop the current by 10% each case. So let's say our first current is 2 milliamperes. This is what I read from my ammeter when we set the circuit up at a short circuit. So that's short circuit current, which is 2 milliamperes. The second current we want is 10% less, so if I multiply by 0.9, I get 1.8 milliamperes. So to get 1.8 milliamperes, what I need to do is I need to increase the resistance here. And as I increase the resistance, I will see that my current drops, and when it comes close to 1.8 milliamperes, I will take the reading for the voltage, and then I can calculate the power. Goes down again to find the third value. 1.8 is our value here, 10% less than that is 1.62, and then we will get a voltage corresponding to 1.68 when we increase the resistance to get this particular value, right? So we keep going on like this, and then we complete the table, but at the same time I would suggest one of you to start plotting this data using Excel. So the power versus current, and you can see that you will start from here. In fact, your data will move from this point on, because as you are decreasing the current, you will see that your voltage kicks in. So voltage gradually goes up, although your current is going down, but the power will go up, and hit a maximum and will come down. So the Pmax is what we are looking for. When you plot the data, you can clearly get this. Now, having said that, I have to say another thing. when you read the current, what you will see is fluctuating current. So your value for current is going to be a little bit harder to read depending on how fast and other physical factors inside the turbine, in other words the dynamo that is attached to the wind generator. You will have a varying current value and of course a voltage. So you have to find a middle value in between those varying values, and then use it to populate your table and then get your graph. So expect variations, and you will have some kind of rough graph because of that. So that's fine. That is something that we should expect in this experiment. So we are supposed to get the Pmax, maximum power, and we are going to change the blades or change the blade angle, and then do this experiment again. And then what you're going to do is, again you're going to plot a second graph for the second case, find the Pmax, and you have to compare the maximum powers in these two different cases that you're going to get, and find which one is going to give you the maximum, the highest value for the maximum.